It's your boy Gabriel Hodder. Matthew Omen. We are all fight, no fight, primal fear. And you're watching BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. Yeah!
Welcome back, everybody, and hope everybody had a wonderful Valentine's Day. BJ here, DG over there.
What's going on, everybody? We got some title changes to talk about this week. And then sometimes, as always, Chef the Ref.
I made it. It's one of them sometimes. Here we go. Why don't we ring that bell and let's get this thing started?
I lost the bell. I can't find it.
What? How did we lose the bell? How the hell are we supposed to start this?
I don't know.
All right. There we are. We found it.
We got Ryan Milky in the chat. How you doing,
Dirty
brother?
Dom trying to steal our bell.
Hey, look, that has a bell too. So, just in case we ever do lose the bell, we'll just use the Wrestle Realm promo video as our bell.
Thanks, Milky.
That's not our official bell.
No, it's not our official bell. It's the official backup bell of BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. And then we have Tara in the chat as well.
Tara.
Hi, Tara.
I take it we're going to see you on Saturday?
We've got orange today. There we go. Felt like an orange type of day.
Well, speaking of Fago real quick, leave it up to one of Tara's favorite wrestlers that I go to the bagel place right around the corner from the school with him, and he finds Fago in the building.
Nice. I'm going to have to remember that bagel shop has Fago.
Yeah, me too. No red pop?
Nope, no red pop today. I'm stuck at the mercy of my Dollar Tree with what they have in stock when I get there.
So, guys, I have a question.
Yeah?
What do you guys want to talk about?
Transformers.
They are
The
more
robots
than
in
UPI.
disguise. But the real question is, why do the turtles only use half a shell?
Because if they had a full shell, they would just roll around.
Ooh, my favorite wrestler that like Fago? I believe that's the words that came out of my mouth. Steven Chambers, how's it going? But yeah, let's start off with that.
Let's talk about wrestling.
Wrestling.
I mean, I could talk about people making left turns. Oh, look, there's people making left
Don't get me
turns. Moving
started.
on now. Yeah, on SmackDown this week, both Alexa Bliss and Cody Rhodes qualified for their Elimination Chamber matches.
As
Alexa-
expected.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss had kind of the easier road, but this match that made event in SmackDown this week, Jacob Fatu, Cody Rhodes, and Sami Zayn. All currently 3 fan favorites at the moment, Drew McIntyre comes out, interferes in the match, putting Jacob through a table, stopping Cody from having the chance to win the match, throws Sami Zayn on top of him, and Cody still kicks out. When they said they were doing the John Cena playbook, I just figured it was more gearing toward the fans, not literally making him Super Cody.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's what's happening.
Codelander.
Like, I don't get it. Like, we just got, not to say we just got rid of Cena, but John Cena just retired, right?
Yeah.
Why would you, like, we saw what happened when they tried doing this with Roman. He won the first that one Royal Rumble in Philly where The Rock came out and helped him. And even with The Rock standing next to him, the fans booed him because we all knew what they were doing. I have no argument overall with the finish. I get what they're doing, but it should have been Jacob that won that match. Even though, understandably, from Drew's point of view, Jacob would be the bigger threat over Cody.
Yeah, currently, I would
Jacob's
think so.
a wild card if you're looking at those three, because you know what you get with Jacob, but now that he feels like his back's up against the wall and he's a man on a mission.
Well, with him losing this qualifying match, I think it's pretty obvious that he's going to win the last chance, whatever it is, to get into
they
the
do
Elimination
that.
Chamber.
If there's something, yeah.
Like, that was just speculation on our part still of getting there. And I mean, even then, you know, we'll just say that at this point, Cody's winning the chamber, right? We only know 2 or 3 people in that match. LA Knight qualified as well this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had the conversation more or less talking that it should be Oba Brock at WrestleMania, this and that. But apparently, for the last couple months, it's been LA Knight penciled in to be Brock Lesnar's opponent. But a lot of that could change now, too. Because WWE's also not happy with the way tickets have been sold at the moment.
Well, when they're asking for too much money, you can't expect too many tickets to sell.
Yeah,
And also,
they
when you're
still
repeating, this city also just saw WrestleMania a year ago.
And they still refuse to lower ticket prices despite that.
Yeah, that's TKO. Just
Yep.
being greedy.
Let's see. Steven Chambers and Cody winning Elimination Chamber. I don't think they do a fatal 4-way. I think it's triple threat and Jacob still somehow gets in. Orton, I think that they're going to position him with somebody else. I could see, honestly, Orton and Aleister Black.
Yeah.
See, I don't see Orton being in that match really unless Cody were to have the belt at the time. So, because, you know, that's what they've been teasing is Randy going after the belt while it's on Cody, not necessarily while it's on like Drew or anyone else. Seems to be what they've been teasing to me, at least.
And I just don't get it, like why you put all 3 of your top names in the same match outside of it to be a draw for SmackDown, and then you do it the way you did, because now Jacob has an argument to say I deserve another match. Sammy doesn't have no argument. He was handed the win by Drew McIntyre, and Cody did his best cosplay of Super Cena.
Yeah, Sammy's been on a downward trend lately, and this doesn't help. Yeah, I mean, where are they going with this story of Sammy? What is happening here? Give me something.
Sammy is the constant underdog. You know, it's foolish for anybody to think that he would be WWE champion. Again, that's not the top belt I would see on him. I would see him on, currently with the landscape being where championships are, him on Raw as the world champion more than the company champion.
Yeah.
Because that's what it comes down to. The guy that they want as the face of the company is the WWE champion. The other guy is the world heavyweight champion.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense, but also, you know, I mean, this is bringing Sammy's stock just down, the storyline right now, the way they're doing it. There's got to be a better way.
It's Sammy's downtrend. For, you know, this is where he usually downtrends and then picks back up at some point.
And then gets fed up with the way everything's going. He gets himself all psyched up, and then, you know, maybe gets a mid-card belt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've seen it before.
And just real quick, I know it's not on the rundown I had, but we talked about it last week, so I also wanted to follow up on that. We were talking about the severity of Braun Breaker's injury.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I didn't see the reports that BJ had seen until after we got done the show. And even now, those reports have continued that his WrestleMania match may be in jeopardy now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it could be between, I think it was 3 and 6 months.
Yeah, that puts him like just outside the WrestleMania
Yeah,
window.
that the initial reports that it wasn't as bad as they thought it was. It was actually worse when they got in there, which just says that we shouldn't be surprised they didn't know, considering he comes from a family of genetic freaks.
With 141 and 2/3% chance of surviving anything.
Yeah, I'll be damned. But now I propose the question. If the scheduled Seth Rollins, because there's now been footage and photos of Seth Rollins rehabbing to return and actually being in the gym. Do you hold off Seth Rollins till after WrestleMania at this point, or do you rush him back if he's not 100% to sell tickets?
Well, it
I don't rush him
depends.
back.
Uh,
If he's fully healed up, ready to go, and they have a storyline that's ready to go with him, like he starts going after individual other members of the Vision until Braun gets back, sure, that works. But if he's not 100% ready to go, you keep him off the shelf for now.
No,
and that's kind of what I was thinking between that and like not really having a story worthy of him coming back early.
I mean, at worst, I agree with you guys. At worst, I would return him to interfere in a match at WrestleMania as a launching point to continue a storyline that we might still be kind of fresh in. Like if he were to return, we say there's some type of 6-man tag with the other members of the Vision. You know, you could have him return in that as a mystery return. Like, oh, hey, we don't know who our third guy is yet. But I feel like if WWE was to bring him back at WrestleMania, that they would announce it ahead of time to sell tickets. Because if they feel like that ticket sales aren't moving, adding another top star to that lineup that wasn't announced and only rumored. What could help with that, especially after Elimination Chamber, it just comes down to, is he returning to go after the Vision right away, or is this just some type of return for him to have a match back? Before
If you're bringing him back, intentionally, slightly early before he's 100%, it's got to be a most compelling story. It can't just be throwaway stuff. It's got to be something that's got meat on the bones and is going to go somewhere. If it otherwise, wait till he's fully healed. Let him stay home, take care of his daughter for the time being, heal up. We'll bring you back once you're ready to go.
I feel like the logical course to go if they were to bring him back for WrestleMania, as we've talked about, you reveal Theory's the inside guy, and we have a tag team match: Austin Theory, Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed and Logan Paul.
Sure, that would work.
Because you kind of still he's getting revenge, and he can't get a hold of Braun Breaker yet because within storyline he hurt himself lifting the table.
Yeah.
Which he probably aggravated what was worse there at that point. Like, oh yeah, I got this. It's just an announce table. How heavy could it be?
When you got a hernia, it's a little heavier.
Yeah, you know, you got to also be out there crashing out the entire time.
Right.
And then at that point, like Steven Chambers said in the chat, you know, you could do the match at Backlash, or even to another point, could you hold that match off till SummerSlam and make Seth have to work for it, and let Braun Breaker run him through the ring, or like something What about Seth Rollins versus Chris Jericho?
If Jericho's actually coming back, we still don't have him. Reports have been since, you'll be back before the Royal Rumble. No, he still ain't back yet.
Well, he's on tour right now, I believe.
Yeah, he's on an overseas tour with Fozzy, which is why if he was going to return at the Rumble, they nixed it, which makes sense, because then you wouldn't have him right away.
Right. It wouldn't make sense to have him show up and then just, where did Chris Jericho go?
But I feel like, just not as a throwaway, but you have two guys who are returning, one from injury, one just there, and Seth. And there's been general backlash about the older guys coming back for the payday. Seth has kind of been at the head of that.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys there. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So, I feel like there's something there to that, but we know that kind of almost like Owens and Orton last year. We were a month away from the match. We were heating up, and then something happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which props to Owens. He's one of the coaches for the new season of LFG. So he is still around.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just hard to sit there and say, and because you can't necessarily insert Rollins into the title picture right now, even though you
Not
could
yet.
say he never lost the title, but nobody wants to see that triple threat again.
Yeah, no. I don't see him doing that, although it's not out of question completely.
Like I said, triple threat of Mania during our pre-show. We just run it all back from last year, We're just going to book the exact... See, we all know... So, another thing to talk about for WrestleMania. So, we've heard the reactions to each version of El Grande in WWE.
Yes.
Myself and Chef watched AAA last week, and the reactions were completely opposite. The fans were booing the original Grande and cheering the current one. To where on Raw, it's the complete opposite. And I absolutely love it. It just reminds me of the old thing when, like, WWF would go to Canada and Bret Hart being heel would just get cheered out that building, and the normal baby faces would get booed unless it was like Stone Cold or somebody.
You say he would get cheered out of the building?
Yeah, he got cheered into and out of the building. They loved him that much. They didn't boo him out. They cheered him out.
Cheerio.
But I'm really hoping, and the way it looks, they're definitely working up towards something for WrestleMania for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really hoping it is a mask versus mask match.
Yes.
So I got a question, and this isn't official. Punk or Reigns?
Right now, to win,
Yeah.
I put the belt on Roman.
Okay, Chef.
I would personally prefer to see Punk keep it.
As a fan, I'd rather see Punk keep it, but if I'm thinking of seeing how these crowds react right now and everything, there's plenty for Punk to do where he doesn't need the championship. And to be honest, like, he would have won it from Seth at WrestleMania anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So as a fan, I wouldn't mind him getting that main event win finally for CM Punk. But in the end, it's not going to do anything major for either guy to go over.
No, they're both top of the game.
Yeah, they're two established stars. This is a night 2 overall main event.
Mm-hmm.
I was only asking because, like, you got to figure that between Breakker and Rollins, like, it's going to be Punk and Roman, but, like, we don't know who's taking on who. You know what I mean? Like, I think that'll be the next feud for both. I just, whenever, both guys are healthy.
And to be honest, I don't expect Punk to be full-time still after WrestleMania. He's been around a lot. I expect him to take some time off because before he was champion, he wasn't there every week anyway. And most of our older stars get part-time schedules because people like Roman, like even say like a Seth Rollins, a CM Punk, they've earned it. You go back and then look through history of some of the top matches, like when we had Hogan Rock. Hogan wasn't there full-time for that month build-up, or for any feud going forward. He wasn't there every week. There were times The Rock was only there via satellite.
Yeah.
And us fans, early days of the internet, roasted him for it. And then they promote him having an actual appearance after he's done wrestling. He's still showing up via satellite. And with the way WWE books the shows now, we're looking at where WrestleMania could be a 12-match card. Just in one night. And
well, I mean, over 2 days, it could be more than that, honestly.
Yeah, but we're looking anywhere for 10 to 12 matches between both nights.
Yep. So plenty of space for stuff to happen.
It all depends on how the part-time's done. And the reason with WWE, they at least have it in storyline perfectly that Roman's like, hey, I got it in my contract. I don't have to be here every week. You know, hey, you know what? They give me a reason why he's not there every week. I'm cool with it. I get it that the guy, and I do agree as well, there's guys that deserve the title runs more, but in the end, that's why you look at something where for a time certain titles are the working guys titles, like, and that's supposed to be the mid-card titles are the working guy titles, the Intercontinental Champions, the United States Champions, those tag team champions. You know, your top champions aren't supposed to be wrestling every week.
Yeah, that's part of the perks of getting to that level of being the champion is you don't have to fight as much.
I mean, you even look at AEW. You have somebody like MJF. When was the last time you could say you saw him wrestle every week?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years at this point.
It's been more than that. He's never showed up and wrestled every week for AEW, maybe besides in the very beginning. And that wasn't even a full year. And now he's not part-time by any means, so it's kind of an off comparison, but just the idea of what the top champion's supposed to do. He's supposed to make appearances. He shows up and defends the title when it's worth defending, or when he has a match against somebody worthy to have a match with him. Just in the case of the Roman booking was, we would get 7 title defenses in a 12-month span.
Yeah.
At worst, I don't care if he's not showing up every week. What I want is just our champion being there every other week. I want our champion at least showing up and being seen on a weekly basis.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
maybe
mind.
2 matches a month.
Yeah. I wouldn't even mind if they started actually enforcing that championship's got to be defended every 30 days, at least once. Yeah. It used to be a thing.
What I mean by 2 matches is one could be like a tag match, you know, not for the belt, or, you know, non-title match or something along those lines. But I feel like, yeah.
That comment
Strange
right
suspicion.
there.
Thank you. I love how you described that, beating the crap out of the like button.
Why, Wrestling? How you doing?
Gonna have to make that a banner. That might have to go in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we gotta put that in the Hall of Fame.
Beat the crap out of the like button.
Awesome, Ryan. Awesome. You know what?
Yeah.
When it comes to defending the world title, when it's on SmackDown or Raw, that's fine. I don't mind there being a fighting champion like that. But then you take away from what would make the pay-per-view match for them special. So you have to up the ante. But that's why, again, your fighting champions, your blue-collar, hard-working champions are supposed to be your Intercontinental champions, your United States champions, who should be defending the title every week, if not every other week, a lot like a Carmelo Hayes, a Sami Zayn, Dragunov, all doing the open challenges.
Let me paint a picture for you. Week after PLE, feud ended. Week after PLE, champion comes out. Maybe he retained.
Okay.
New competitor comes out. You know, blah blah blah. I want you next week. You know, so he takes on that guy. Meanwhile, dude who he got the belt off of at the previous PLE comes in and interferes, setting up the next PLE match, a rematch. You know what I mean? So the champion can be in a match, but it doesn't necessarily have to be defending it, or it doesn't necessarily have to end clean. You know what I mean? They have a lot of flexibility.
Right. No. That I agree with as well. Or like the idea that your champion's not defending, your top champion's not defending the title, but he's in a tag team match.
And like I said earlier, yeah, like he's in a tag team match with, like, he has to get along with the guy he's fighting at the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, not even that. I'm just going to say, like, as example, Roman teaming with the Usos in a 6-man tag where they do the majority of the work in the match, so he could just go in, get his spots, pop the
I'm
crowd.
just throwing possibilities out there. You know what I mean? Where you can use the champion and not have to have him just come out and cut a promo every week.
Oh no. I'm not necessarily saying that. But like having a fighting champion's great. Because to be
Yeah.
a fighting world champion will defend the title twice a month. Once on pay-per-view or PLE, once maybe on a random show.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you very much. Yes, this is
Oh yeah, Feral Face.
this is a local wrestling faction, the Freak Kings. The Feral Face is probably the biggest name out of that group currently. But yeah, you can go check them out. They've got plenty of more merch, and yeah, I'm sure you'd find something that you'd like for yourself too. Yeah,
I guess
there
Chef
we go.
isn't going to be on our show Tuesday
Yeah, no,
because you know who
this
is?
shirt will. I wore this shirt today intentionally because I knew I was not wearing it on Tuesday.
Whoa, why did my sound come on?
I don't know. I hope a certain someone isn't watching.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. If you are watching out there, please know that this is just a shirt. It's just a shirt,
You get disappointed, Blade.
but it's
I mean,
a nice
that's the whole
shirt.
reason I
look
have
at
a-
this design. This is beautiful.
I mean, hey, this day right here, that day right there is the whole reason I have a Free Kings hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a face shirt also. Haven't
But
worn it
yeah,
in a while,
you know, like when
Oh, wow. All right, Milky.
Okay.
Sure.
well, I guess it's
We're-
a good thing that we might not, that we most likely will not be in Vegas in April.
Especially like around that time, yeah.
Yeah, we're probably about an hour and a half south of NYC. Just FYI on that.
Hop's giving a jump away. Like
And
half
a
the length
toe
of your country.
possibly. But yeah, I'm not necessarily because I remember the times like Stone Cold. What was a part timer at one point. Nobody argued about it.
Yeah.
No, nobody batted an eye about Stone Cold being part timer, whether he was champion or not.
I feel like every one of the big names has become a part timer at one point or another in their careers.
Yeah, it's just what it is. They've earned that right, you know. Now it comes down to the idea when you have guys like a Roman Reigns or a Brock Lesnar who are only showing up. Now, I will say this. The Brock Lesnar part-timer only showing up for title defenses thing it fits for him as somebody who was a former MMA fighter, you know, like
Brock's a special case.
Which, by the way, speaking of Brock Lesnar, I said something to BJ earlier that I wanted to remember to mention this. Today is the anniversary of Eddie Guerrero defeating Brock Lesnar on SmackDown for the WWE Championship.
Viva la raza.
We lie, we cheat, we steal.
Hey, and his son's doing pretty well for himself now.
I know, isn't he? AAA champion, Intercontinental champion.
Yep.
Next thing you know, in the next 5 years, we're going to have Logan Paul versus Dominic Mysterio for the World Heavyweight Championship. If this show's still
I
going
know we've
for
said that
5 years,
before, and I think I have the same reaction every time.
and Pat McAfee will be on the call for it. Oh fuck! Well,
I don't even know if that's PG.
Not anymore, we ain't.
oh man, that was good. Dad, you knocked the headphones off before you heard the worst part.
Yeah, I heard McAfee. That was all I needed.
Oh no! There's still a worse part than that. Goldberg will also be on commentary with Pat McAfee.
Do you want me to stay on the show today or no?
I'm undecided.
I'm the
still.
only one on camera right now. Okay, BJ's back.
Hey, I'm promoting the school at the moment. And the chef remains.
Yeah, right? I'm the only one. Yeah, yes, I see it. I 100% see it there, Milky.
But it's not the Last Supper. It's the last beverage image.
Never a last beverage. Unless it's, December 31st.
That was the thumbnail from last night's Valentine's stream. Go ahead and check it out. The thumbnail. You don't have to watch the stream, but the thumbnail is really, really cool.
Okay.
That's all.
It has. I feel like I always have to play that now at some point at random.
Random Blakey.
Yeah, we'll take it.
But that's
beverage never.
no. That would be my piece of art. The last drink. Because now I have Petey trying to get me to go to the brewery with them.
Yeah, good luck, Pete.
It's like on your way home, you know?
There is one on my way home.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where we go.
But
Just
anyway, since we're talking about titles and stuff, let's talk about the 2 title changes on Dynamite this week.
Yes, let's.
Before we get to the one that I'm going to have a lot to say about, but you guys already know where I'm going, which one I'm talking about. I want to talk about what was the main event and that women's championship strap match.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
What a match. Yeah.
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 Yeah. At the risk of saying, spoilers, that's my match of the week right there.
Are we getting a rant alert? DG, is that?
I don't know if this is necessarily a rant more than just an observation of stuff.
Before you get into it, I feel your pain. But no, yeah, I agree, Chef, to spoil it. That was my match of the week also.
That is actually not my match of the week.
Down.
All right, well, save yours so we don't spoil that. We still have something to hold on to.
You saw more wrestling than us this week.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah, that was a hell of a match.
Oh. Yeah. So I'm sitting here watching it. Now, when I was watching it, because I caught up on a lot of wrestling yesterday, and I had just finished installing Diablo 2 onto my computer now that it's on Game Pass. So I'm trying to get that all figured out, and I kept looking away from the TV. So I finally had paused it and rewound it back to watch the back half of the match.
Uh-huh.
Those ladies went out there and put on a hell of a show.
Yes, they did.
I was actually a bit surprised to see Tekla win the championship.
As was I, but I get it. She earned that. Yeah. I've got no problem with Tekla holding that belt.
No, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes because it's not somebody who was necessarily all on our radar to win that championship. And it's nothing against her because I think she's absolutely great. She's made a name with herself, and we see a lot of these Australian talents now are really good. Like, that is a really great island that's not Samoan to get wrestling talent from.
Yeah. Who knew?
That's why I thought they had the whole island thing on lock.
Yeah, man, it goes back to the days of Outback Jack, you know?
Yeah. Well, they're not just an island, they're also a continent.
You know, AEW isn't huge on direct rematches, so they would have to have Chris Statlander earn that rematch. Honestly, with Mercedes, I don't know that she needs the title. I can see Tony Khan putting it on her. But
how many does she have currently? Do we know? Is she down to like less than 5 yet?
38.
In a row.
Some time has passed.
I'm not entirely sure because I think she just vacated a lot of her championships too because she was never going to go actually defend them, which was my argument of why let her win all these belts if she's not actually going to go travel and defend them. And these people are just paying for that her name is now connected to the legacy of that championship, and it means nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, she did nothing with any of those belts.
I can't see us ever going to a show and be like, oh my God, this is for the whatever championship. Mercedes Moné used to hold that championship. That's not a draw.
I mean, especially considering that the Rev Pro Championship was the only foreign one, maybe besides the CMLL. So I think she has that one too.
Okay.
But they all have working relationships, kind of.
Right.
Especially CMLL and AEW.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we've seen a lot of crossover between those two companies.
Yeah, but I hope Tekla's not a paper champion, which we'll be talking more about in a moment. Paper champions.
I don't see Tekla being a paper champion. She is the real deal. Like, you watch her go, she can go.
And especially considering she's a heel, like you're
Mhm.
going to have somebody unless Mercedes returns as a baby face, which that would all depend on crowd reaction. And what
I like
city
her
they're in.
personality better as a heel.
Yeah.
Just works.
So that it would all depend on the circumstances of her return.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you got a few babyface women that could chase Tekla pretty effectively. You know, if you wanted to have Tekla hold on to that belt for a while, you definitely could. AEW's got the women to do it.
Oh, no, they have the roster to do it. It's just a matter of how they book it.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the other championship that changed hands this week. Last week, we were really happy, weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
A couple
We were
weeks
very
ago,
happy.
Ciampa debuts, you know. He goes on
Gotta
to
love
his
seeing a
first
guy with gray in
match.
his beard come in and get a belt.
He wins the TNT Championship. We get a new version of the belt introduced for him
We
winning.
get a
Sylvie.
killer promo.
Yeah, and we get to the match with him and Kyle Fletcher this week. And Grant, Ciampa was a fighting champion for the 11 days he held the belt. Yeah, spoiler alert. You know, they have Ciampa defeat Mark Briscoe for the championship just to hand it back to Kyle Fletcher to set up their match at Grand Slam.
Yeah.
So what was the point of making Ciampa champion? Anybody?
Just to
Yeah.
have him look great coming in the building and then make everyone go, huh?
You could have done that just as easily like they did with Andrade and have him beat a bunch of people looking strong going into Grand Slam where he lost to Adam Page.
I have an answer. He's going to interfere.
And what?
Sure.
You said to set up, were you talking Briscoe and Fletcher?
Yes.
Yeah, to set up their ladder match that they had yesterday.
Yeah, he's going to interfere.
He
It already happened.
He's
That's
going to
right.
interfere yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, he was going to interfere yesterday, but it just never
thinking-
happened.
I'm thinking this is next show. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so this is something I kind of alluded to when we were backstage talking about this before the show. And so if you're going to keep the Aussie fans happy, why put the title on Ciampa at all? Why not just have Mark Briscoe go in there? Kyle Fletcher challenges him to one more match for the championship. You still get your 7th match, and you still do the ladder match, and you still have Kyle Fletcher win the match, and he wins the champion in his home country instead of just walking in with the title.
It's because it's a different dynamic coming in as the champion. You know, they wanted that dynamic of Fletcher coming in with his presence with the belt in Australia. So, you know.
All right, so I counter with when I'm looking at it and I'm looking at a fan's reaction, what do I want to happen? I know him going in there, the fans are going to be behind him, even though he's one of our top heels.
Because it's Australia and it's his home
Exactly.
territory.
So why would I not have the fans sitting there and cheering for him to win that match and gain back the championship that he lost in his home country instead of just sending him and make it mean more than, oh, I just defended my title in my home country, you know. I just hit a brain buster off the top of the ladder on Mark Briscoe because we're both psychos.
Well, first of all, didn't he win it in his home country on Wednesday?
No, that was in America.
Oh, that was it? Okay, I thought they were already out there. Okay, my bad.
No, a bunch of the talents left directly after most of them after their matches to get to the airport.
But also, I think it's all about the presentation in front of the home crowd. Him coming out with the belt rather than him coming out.
I
think the walkout was more important to them than the end result.
Yes.
To me, it feels better that, as a fan, especially, say we're at the Star Academy and there's a guy from Mount Holly, right? Mm-hmm. I'm more prone to cheer for him Griffin, just because, right?
Like Jordan Griffin, right?
But just as an example, he's in this big match, you know. Why would you put the title on him going into the match then in front of the home crowd, getting the big win? It wouldn't be the first time in the history of pro wrestling a guy's won a title multiple times in his home country.
I get your point.
I understand it's the opposite of Jim Ross booking and beating him up every time he's in his home. All right, I get it. And I get the idea of the walkout, of the presentation of everything.
Well, maybe they wanted to just change it up a little bit from last time when he walked out without the championship and then won it, got that experience already. Now this time he gets the experience of walking out with the belt, already champion, returning to his homeland.
You know, I just feel like either way, you get the same result after the match. So I just feel like it would be better off. Even better, you made the ladder match a triple threat and added Ciampa to it. And then those two,
that would have been
those
ideal.
two can still get their game set. But
there's a chance like Ciampa also joined AEW maybe too late to get a visa to go to Australia for that. That could have been the problem. Because he joined AEW like a week and a half before they were going to Australia.
Yeah, but he should already have be able to passport and all that stuff.
You've got the visa. The visas right now, this government has screwed so much up.
So then if that's the case, you just signed him and you knew you weren't going to be able to do it. Why change the titles to begin with? You're bringing me back to my original. What was the point of doing the title?
To put it on him.
Yeah.
It was to pop the crowd on his first match.
Yeah, and you know, a match Ciampa losing to Briscoe, nobody would have been upset about.
No, they wouldn't have, but I feel like I was a lot happier having Ciampa win.
And yes, that Jay Driller on that ladder was insane. It's just one of those things where it's like, why? Why do the title swaps when you already have one of the guys you wanted in the match with the title, and you just hold the match for the championship? You got there the long way, and in the long run may have buried a guy in the eyes of the fans that aren't familiar with Ciampa and aren't fully knowledgeable of what he's capable of. You just brought him in strong to a week and a half later be like, yeah, we're giving you the Zack Ryder treatment.
I don't know. I think he'll come back next week looking strong.
And now, don't get it wrong. AEW has so many championships that whatever. Like, you couldn't have him come in and just beat Ricochet for the international championship or whatever it is, the national championship.
Yeah, he's got the national, and then Okada's got the international.
You don't want a bald versus bald match. That's like a heel versus heel match.
Look. You do a winner has to grow hair match. All right, that's all I'm saying.
A reverse.
Yes, hair. You are not allowed to cut your hair for like 6 months.
You know, just like the whole reason they kept Tony D'Angelo away so that they could let him grow a beard.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
still Dexter Lumis, they kept him off camera for like a year, and he grew dreads and a huge beard.
Yeah, like We're paying you to grow your hair and your beard. All right, that's all we're paying you for at this point.
It's like, that's
Oh,
my
man,
job. All right.
If only. Be like, all right, I got you beat.
But yeah, some other matches from Grand Slam. John Moxley defended the Continental Championship in a time limit draw against Takeshita, which was a really good match as well. The Women's World Tag Team Championships were retained by the Babes of Wrath against Mega Bad, which also saw the debut of Lana Cross, who is equal to Megan Bayne in size. And it seems like they're teaming up now. That's a nice little stable they got going there. Does this, with all these trio stables, hopefully AEW is not planning on adding a women's trio championship. Because then one of the men's titles have to be sacrificed at this point. It's too many.
You've got an international and a national title. That gets confusing. One of those can go.
The thing is, the roster is big enough to support all the titles.
It is.
But then at the same time, it waters down what it means to be champion with too many titles.
Yeah.
Not in the case of the women. Because I would say you look at the women's side of it, you would have the women's championship, the TBS championship, and then tag team championships. And so you would be giving them something to do, but then you look at the men's side, you have all that plus 2 other singles championships, and we're not even talking about Ring of Honor championships still.
Yeah, I forgot Ring of Honor's over there too.
And it seems like you don't have to be on a specific show to get a shot at any of those championships.
Yeah, we've seen Ring of Honor defended on AEW and vice versa, so yeah.
Not like where, hey, it's something special when an NXT talent gets a shot at one of the major titles, whether it's the Women's Tag Team Championships or whatever else. Like granted, all of them might have too many titles, but at least in the case of WWE, their titles are relegated to certain things, and there's only one title that jumps all 3 shows. All 4 if you include TNA or AAA. And even the AAA's titles kind of stay to them mostly. Outside right now of the AAA Mega Championship.
Well, also the Intergender Tag Championship, Lola Vice now has half of that.
Yeah. Her and Mr. Iguana.
Yep.
Which I loved how they set up that match with Chelsea Green being injured on AAA last week. Oh my God,
that was fun.
That was absolutely great. Hangman Page last night defeated Andrade, as I said earlier, to become the new #1 contender. And he faces who is the one retained the world championship, MJF, in a great match. Those two had a great match as well.
Yeah, I hear that Australia had the same chant that the U.S. had last Brody King match.
Yeah. I think that's just the Brody King chant now, and I'm okay with it.
Cheers.
And that's about as far as I'm going to get into that. Because this is not a show about politics. This is a show about wrestling and whatever else gets us off the rails at times. Because it happens, but usually it's wrestling related. We've already talked about the TNT Championship match. Oh, so something we were kind of mistaken on. The hair versus hair mixed tag team match. The loser of the pinfall got their head shaved.
Yes.
Was not aware of that.
Yeah, somehow neither was I, but it shows how much I pay attention when I'm watching Dynamite.
Yeah, I did hear that on Wednesday night during the show. During Dynamite, they did say that whoever takes the pin is the person getting their head shaved. So I was like, oh, okay, so it's just one person.
Yeah, when they were doing the match, and they said something, I was like, okay. I'm like, that kind of takes some of the umph out for me.
Yeah, I was
really
expecting
Yuta still getting his head shaved.
Yep.
But God, would I have paid money to be there just for Orange Cassidy to take the pinfall and nonchalantly just shave his head? Like, I don't care.
Yeah, just take the clippers and...
Yeah.
That was funny. Mox made him like, nah, man.
You lost. You go pay your penalty.
But that was a fun match.
And
Yeah, it was
Moxie's
time for you to
bald
lose the
over
hair.
there. Oh yeah, but
And that
Moxie's
is
like
two
bald.
Philly wrestlers in the last 3 months we've seen get their head shaved.
Yes, it is. Yep, Wheeler and Declan Grant.
Moxie's bald, sitting in the corner like, oh no, like dude, but you're bald. What do you care? Like,
Yeah, but I look good bald. He's gonna look weird.
he'll look fine.
Uh,
Tony
some good
Storm would
stuff,
look
though.
good bald though.
She would make it work. Like Tony Storm, if she had gotten her head, she would have made it work. And Marina Shafir, she would have just looked like a badass.
And
Yeah,
like I said
so-
last week, like Tony Storm could just wear wigs.
Yes, that would have. Yeah.
oh, yeah. And I believe we all absolutely agreed on that. So before we move on from AEW, another big thing that was revealed, they did a special house show type thing in Australia. I guess would be today, but yesterday for them.
Because time zones.
Yes. Yeah, the universe and all. The Inspiration made their AEW debut
I like
and
it.
have signed with AEW.
I like it, and it's nice that they were able to make their first appearance there in their home country.
Yep.
Makes sense.
There's with the tag team titles. I mean, you kind of need more teams in there.
Mm-hmm.
A
And who
fan
better to bring in
reaction-
than an iconic team?
Yeah, the fan reaction has been interesting to that, though. It seems like most fans aren't really behind it.
They
from
probably
what I've
see them
seen
as like
so far.
ex WWE,
Yeah, but how many other ex WWE teams or people have come in and gotten warm receptions? Tommaso Ciampa most recently.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't know. Maybe it was just in Australia. Maybe they're not
You
like
know-
in their home country.
Let's be honest. If we were to look across every major wrestling roster, we can include New Japan into this, right? How many former people that have gone through the WWE system, whether they made it to Raw, SmackDown, or not, are we going to see on these rosters? Quite a few.
Yeah.
WWE's been around for so long, and at one point being the only game in town that was
Right.
worth watching.
These are like the two end destinations for any aspiring wrestler for the most. No one's like, I want to be in TNA. They're like, no, I want to be in WWE. I want to be in AEW.
I mean, that has changed over the last couple years. Like, people want to go to TNA now. I don't feel like it's full-fledged.
I feel like I feel like TNA is considered now a high-end stop on the way to WWE.
Or
I feel-
AEW.
Yeah.
But at the same time, so then you would want to go there if you know that's the stepping stone to truly get noticed by somebody else.
Yeah, sure. You would
They're
want to be
very
there.
just very
Like, it would be a
specifically-
step up from like a lower level indie to obviously get in there, and then
Well-
from there you'd want to step up even further. So yeah,
Well, when you look at it from the indie scene, where you would want to make it would be like GCW. You would want to get seen on those cards.
Yeah, definitely not NWA or MLW.
Yeah,
Sure.
even though they have the stars, but then they did Battle Royal this past week or last weekend, and you could see the majority of the stars in there on an indie company, one of the top 5 indie companies, being former WWE guys.
yeah.
What battle royal are you talking about?
I think it was MLW, might have been OVW.
Oh, Battle Riot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Killer Cross, congratulations.
Yeah, so you just look at it's just what it is. They have that reach to be able to have their hands almost in every pot somehow, some way, or former talents being there.
I just spilled beer all over my pants.
That's talent. Because I saw you drink from that glass at the same time.
Yeah, I missed my mouth. and it kind of just.
Okay, so it was an optical illusion.
if that's PG.
Whoa.
Some of it made it in my mouth. Go ahead.
You just made the list.
So here, let's see in the chat. I feel like TNA is equal to NXT in terms of developing talent, in all honesty. But a lot of their talent is a lot of talent that still performs on the indies.
Yeah.
So they get a lot of that ring time regardless. I certainly hope WWE doesn't buy TNA, but that's something we've talked about in the past at this
Some of
point.
that looks likely, but I don't know. You never know what TKO is going to do.
Yeah, I'm fine with the working relationship, but I don't need TNA to fall under the WWE umbrella and be forced to follow their vision. I want TNA to be its own entity, have its own thing, its own storylines, and not just be another NXT feeder system.
What I would prefer if they were to do it is give them not the transparency, the leash, the long leash like AAA has. Like, they still help with booking it and everything, but it is still, for the most part, their own thing still. Their people are actually still running the company.
I wouldn't want to see them end up like Ring of Honor is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, Tony Khan has all this footage and stuff for Ring of Honor and this roster, and he can't get them a TV deal, but TNA can get a new TV deal.
Yeah, I mean, Access TV has a hole where wrestling used to be.
Yeah, it looks like they have some openings. I mean, and I would watch. I would watch every week if Ring of Honor was on Access. I used to love Ring of Honor back in the day. And if it has that feel, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing now is Ring of Honor doesn't have that feel. You get it at times with like a pure championship match or a match under those rules that really honor all that. But it feels a lot like AEW now because the rosters aren't truly separated. And a lot of their top stars, they've shifted down there. Like the Outrunners. They put it because they need people to draw for it.
Mm-hmm.
You watch Ring of Honor shows or see clips, the arenas are half empty. Because a lot of fans aren't arriving that soon because they're going to get burnt out seeing 6-7 hours of live wrestling.
Yeah.
That are stretched across filming multiple episodes and stuff.
Right.
So that creates its own issue within itself.
So there is something to be said for the value of wrestling per dollar that you're getting out of that. But then there comes a point where 7 hours in, it's like, I've been here for a work day now watching wrestling.
I mean,
and I had to pay the
3-hour shows.
Yeah.
Right. 2.5 3-hour shows are the norm, and even those, it's like, all right, how many more matches do we have left?
Like, there's definitely a prime spot of you should never expect fans, especially for something like WWE, AEW, where you know there's going to be TV tapings before the main show, not to be there longer than 4 hours. I would say 3.5 is even too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have enough trouble sitting in movie theaters nowadays. Could you guys sometimes give us a podcast of the week section? I watch all WWE podcasts in the given week and a lot of CVV. Interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
He's had some good interviews recently. He just did one with MJF that was really good. He did one with Stone Cold recently too. That was good.
What?
Now I'm curious. I'm curious, Mil.
I drank another beer. 3 beers. 4 beers. 5 beers. 6 beers. 7 beers. 8 beers. 9 beers. Yeah.
All right, so Milky, now my question for you. Do you mean like the podcast produced by WWE, like the Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes, that kind of stuff? Or are you talking the podcast like WrestleMania, Cultaholic, those guys? I'm just curious. Or are you just all of them?
Man, I question where I get the time to watch all of wrestling, and now people want me to add podcast into it.
Man, I got Legos I want to build. I got comics I want to read. Got some
I
video
don't
games
listen
I
to any
want to play
wrestling
too.
podcasts, but I do watch a lot of wrestling YouTube.
I mean, most of that stuff you can see on YouTube, like the Cody Rhodes stuff and all that stuff.
I don't watch any of that though. Any of the WWE produced stuff.
I liked Undertaker's until it went under the WWE thing, but they tend to tell some that was good because you hear a lot of stories that we didn't get to hear for the 30 years that man wrestled in WWE.
Like I'd rather watch CVV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're talking a place where you're just getting news, then yeah, WrestleMania, Cultaholic, I like both of those. Those are probably my two biggest sources that I watch there, as far as that.
That's
I've seen clips of this. Taker and Miz, from the clips I saw, was good too. Like it's one of those things to where when you're watching it, you realize they're not fully in character. Like a CVV, a difference is you'll get the guy still working him.
Mm-hmm.
And being in character at times. Like MJF was in character his entire sit down with them. Obviously, Austin really wasn't because he doesn't need to now.
Yeah.
Oh, don't forget our Tuesday shows. We have some amazing interviews on our Tuesday shows.
We do. We certainly do.
Yeah. Another amazing one's going to be coming up Tuesday, but I can't really talk about that yet.
Yeah,
but yeah,
definitely.
This was last week's.
That was last week.
Yeah.
This week coming up could be even more fiery, could we say?
But yes, we do have a couple guests lined up. We also have our predictions for PWU Mad Love, where the loser in last place must take a chop from SPO heavyweight champion Billboard Billy Gold.
And not only that, I'm sorry, 1 second. He has a name now for those chops. They're the championship chops. So we have to take a championship chop from Billboard Billy Gold if we lose.
I gotta say, I saw his new pants in the Instagram clips that I saw this weekend. I love the new pants. Good job, Billy.
Are dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, or else you'll get chopped next. Now sit in the corner and be quiet.
They put this arm right
but
here,
yeah, just to show
half of the show is about being derailed.
Billy Gold is the one that says Blanky in this video. Blanky!
Nice shot, Blakey.
That is a big man to be taking a chop from.
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather just get chokeslammed through the ring.
If Sammy Reaper can take half a dozen of them, I can take one.
Yeah. Goddamn, Sam.
Hi, guys. This is Sam Reaper, and you're watching BJ and DG Wrestling Talk Show.
I know we made peace and everything, but I've been, I don't know. I'm not trying to spark anything, but I've been
still unsettled.
No, I've been like, I just say things now. I don't know. I guess it's seeing them get destroyed every week. It's just giving me the freedom to be like,
yeah.
Bring it on, Sammy.
Stupid idiot.
Sammy Whammy.
Ooh. But yeah, let's I have if I remember correctly talking, I was the only one who caught No Surrender.
No, I did watch No Surrender. I had a choice to make on Friday night, SmackDown or No Surrender. I chose No Surrender.
Yeah. What did you think of the end of the Knockouts battle, number one contender battle royal? With Jody Threat just hanging by the feet outside. Yeah.
I did not see Jody Threat being the winner of that, but now that she is the winner of it, I don't have a problem with it. I think that, she's been there for a while. She deserves a shot at a belt, at the main belt. Why not? Yeah, it works. And then, we can spin off some more storyline out of this eventually. But, yeah, we'll see where it goes, how she does with this match. And I don't see her winning the belt. Don't get that wrong. But, yeah, I think she'll put a good match in with it and elevate her name a little bit. Which is weird to say considering how long she's been there. And she's gotten tag titles and everything before, too. But yeah, she still is like one of those wrestlers who just feels like she could use more of a boost and a push. And I think this is a chance for her to do that.
Yeah, I am. I was just a fan of the finish. That's not a save in a Rumble like match that I've seen like that before. Yeah, and I was just like, I just enjoyed how she just hung there. It had to be for close to 5 minutes.
Yeah,
that
it was a while.
Just, like you even see at one point, one of them near the end, I think there's like 3 left standing in the ring with her hanging from the ropes by her feet. And you see one of them go to that corner and not even acknowledge that the feet were there on the rope. I would be like, oh, wait, what's this? Boom.
Nope. Just let her stay. I was perfectly happy with the way that worked out. And the fact that Tessa Blanchard did not win it, even better. A while ago.
Yeah, I'm a mark for myself.
That'd be like me logging in on my personal Instagram and just say, this is awesome.
But I really thought Elena Black was going to win it.
Yeah, I'm glad she didn't. I am not a fan of Cora Jade still.
But yeah, so we'll jump ahead real quick. Talk about the Knockouts Championship match, because from the way it looks, NXT just reacquired a TNA Championship with Arianna Grace becoming the Knockouts Champion after Stax loses the International Championship.
Yep, I was surprised by, I was most surprised by Stax losing that belt. I was not expecting that to happen at all, but I guess they figured, Trey didn't go to AEW after all. Let's just put a belt on him. Consolation prize for him losing all his friends. So, but then, Arianna, she was definitely fired up in their backstage segment that she had with Stax. And, she brought that fire out to the ring and brought home a new belt. However, Daria Ray was not super happy about that.
Yeah, but it seems like things are getting figured out on that with her being the champion, regardless of how it happened at this point. She got the match. She won the match. She won the championship. Was not expecting it.
Yep. But Santino, he is in a tough spot right now with TNA because, you got Daria Ray now coming in as the suit to counter his authority. And he made the match for his daughter to have the chance to win it, and she did. And now, TNA lost another belt. Daria's pissed, and she's in Santino's face. And so we've definitely got that classic power struggle dynamic happening now. And I want to see where it goes between Santino and Daria.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where that goes.
I was wondering who you were texting.
Yeah, right. The international match, there's a spot in that match where Trey Miguel is sliding on his knees and goes out of the ring and hits a suplex.
Yeah.
The German suplex on Stax. Oh, man. Captain Heel, how you doing? And if everybody hasn't checked this out, please go check it out. Very fun interview on the Captain Heel show. He did interviewing me. Was absolutely great. Everybody, please go check that out and support it, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I had to rewind it after I saw that spot and see again. I was like, did he slide on his knees through the ropes and hit a suplex?
Yep. Yeah. Like I said, I've got no problem with Trey getting the belt there. Stacks, I think I wouldn't have minded seeing the power couple thing happen, but I feel like storyline wise, he got Arianna fired up to win her belt. So if he had one, maybe she goes in there a little bit more lackadaisical and, doesn't actually come out with the win.
This
Who
could
knows?
also be something where TNA doesn't want to be all loosey-goosey with the championships again. Jumping
Well, yeah, I
shows.
mean, if we're breaking kayfabe, sure.
What's kayfabe?
It's this station out in California, KFBE, kayfabe.
But and then we had Mance Warner
Fighting an old man.
Yeah, Action Mike Jackson.
Now officially the oldest competitor ever in TNA.
Where's Gypsy Joe?
Which actually wasn't a bad match.
No, it was pretty good. You can tell that Mike Jackson still is in there training people.
Oh no,
obviously.
he still actually wrestles.
Yeah,
Like,
you can see that.
I've seen clips of stuff. I was just because I didn't see the pre-show, so he comes out. I'm like, wait, what's going on? Why is Grandpa wrestling?
Wait a minute, is this Mr. Elegance? Did something bad happen?
He went from out of shape to in shape to old.
That's that elegance magic. That is the magic of elegance.
Of it wearing off. But yeah, that was definitely a fun match. We get a little bit of back and forth afterwards. AJ Francis, who was on commentary for this match, it seems like we're leading toward a storyline with him and Mance.
The real
Warner.
AJ. Were you debating whether or not to put me in catering?
He was. I saw it.
Finger on the mouse.
No, you're lucky the sound effect's not there that I wanted to play. So,
Bye-bye, bitch.
Oh, nice timing with that.
Dummy. Yeah.
I guess I'll bring him back. I'll do the right thing here. But yeah, so it looks like we're getting a storyline going with AJ Francis and Mance Warner. Boy, AJ Francis is definitely stepping out of his comfort zone, wanting to have a storyline with Mance Warner.
My question is, who's the heel in this one? Or is it just going to be heel?
AJ Francis.
They're just going to figure it out when they get there.
I mean, if we're looking at how that match ended, with him showing respect to Action Mike Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
It might be heel versus heel. At least it's not bald versus bald.
I mean, they shook his hands. They showed some respect, so that could have been the face turn there or the beginning of it.
Yeah.
AJ Francis being the typical heel, like, why are you giving this man respect?
Mm-hmm.
All right, why are you getting in our freaking face about it? It's none of your business. Everybody talked shit. He got in the ring and stood up to him. And then after that, we had the Knockouts Tag Team Championship match. Mm-hmm. Alex Brand defending against Zaya Brookside and Indy Hartwell. Pretty much went as I thought it would go.
Yep. Elegance Grand retaining with shenanigans involved.
Which those shenanigans afterwards leads to the return of Mickey James and
Yep.
her going after Ash.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Just watching them go at each other, just jawing back and forth. Like Ash is
James
just there
and
like,
heels.
come on.
Yeah, Mickey James in heels nonetheless, trying to keep her balance.
Yeah. And I don't know how the hell that shirt stayed in place the entire time.
Did she cut a Meltzer promo?
No, there was no words. It was just purely just
Brawling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm referencing, right?
Why don't you explain it for the class?
Just look up Mickey James Meltzer promo.
I don't even know if that's PG.
Oh, it was. Yeah, no, nothing filthy. But she decided in the middle of a match to cut a promo on Meltzer.
Oh,
and
okay.
Well, he is a tool. So
I think there was like a singing contest. She was wrestling. I think it was Mina Shirakawa. I might be wrong. It was a Japanese girl.
Okay.
On an indie show, and she stopped mid-match. There was a dance contest or a singing contest, and then she stopped mid-match to like cut a promo on Meltzer. It was somehow garbage. Look it up.
Right.
What did you think of the Eric Young and BDE match?
I thought it was actually better than I expected it to be. Yeah, BDE, he's not a wrestler per se.
He's a podcaster,
built his following through YouTube, but yeah, I mean, he's trying. He's trying. He's improving. Yeah, he seems to be. He's a more likable version of Logan Paul.
I was just about to say he's just their Logan Paul. That's all.
Yes, but I actually like BDE's personality. And having him having Eric Young come and offer him to be a part of this whole movement with the cleanse and everything, and him rejecting it, yeah, sure, I'll go with that, and that's the reason for them to have a match, and it was a fun match. It wasn't match of the night or anything like that, but it was a fun match.
Something we forgot to mention during the Knockouts Championship match, Danny Luna also returned during that match.
Yes, she did.
Also, Arianna Grace using the Cobra.
Yes, she did. Yeah, she stole the Cobra from her dad and used it.
A Cobra thief. The 8-man tag with the Hardys and the Righteous taking on Order 4. I thought the Righteous and the Hardys worked really well together.
Yeah. Yeah, that
much
was
better than they should have.
Yeah. I fully expected Order 4 to win this match the whole time, just because not only does it establish Order 4 as a dominant faction, it also furthers this storyline between the Righteous and the Hardys. See where this is going, because there is something happening here, and I want to see what we're doing.
Yeah, so do I. I want them to get, whether it's the Broken Hardys returning and they form some weird stable.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Wyatt Six.
The Righteous Hardys.
Brokenly Righteous.
Righteously broken.
Yeah, there we go. While we're just workshopping names here for a made-up stable, that's probably not going to happen.
That's what we do.
Mongooses. I always thought that was a good team name. The Mongooses. The Fighting Mongooses. That was a rough Futurama quote.
Sure.
Stupid idiot.
And everybody, if you're wondering why I'm rarely on cam, it's so that you don't see my reactions to this idiocy I have to put up with regularly.
You don't want to see his pallid face constantly turning red in anger.
Pallid. Wow, we're using the big words now.
But hey, the people are entertained. That's all that matters.
And that's what we're here for.
If not, to just entertain ourselves. Because now that there's
Are we not entertained?
We just lost 16 live viewers. great.
in a row.
Impressive. We only had 10.
Dummy. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, 8-man tag. Order 4 picks up the victory. We have Elijah come out, setting up their coffin match with him and Mustafa Ali. And I love that the casket was a guitar case.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Nice touch.
And the nice swerve that it was somebody else just dressed like him, and then he pulled the Undertaker coming out of it.
Yep. Yeah. I was looking at the person with their back turned, and I was like, something doesn't look quite exactly right with this person. And then Elijah pops out of the guitar case. I'm like, oh, that explains everything. Yeah.
Well, this makes sense now. But yeah, it'll be they're keeping Order 4 pretty strong right now. It looks like they're going to be positioning them to be the full top faction at some point.
Yep.
It's just
hey,
both.
I'm good with that.
Which then we're looking at 2 top heel factions. At some point, they're going to have to battle. Yeah.
See,
but then,
the system, yes, they are a heel faction, but they have their little face pushes every couple of months that happen. So, yeah, when those 2 factions do come to blows, it's going to be the system as the faces there.
I think it's going to be the other way around. You keep
now they're super heel because of everything that just went down.
That is true.
Yeah,
they are more heel.
Yeah, if you have Eddie Edwards as the world champion, you could turn Order 4 face.
Yeah.
They work better as heels, though. I mean, but yes, I enjoy them.
The system work way better as heels.
Yeah, they do.
Especially with the group of guys that they have there currently that are just monster powerhouses, like Bear Bronson.
Mm-hmm.
Just a powerhouse.
Oh man, we saw him up close and personal a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I got a photo with him actually.
What an absolute beast.
Yeah. But yeah, on to the main event of No Surrender. Mike Santana and X Division champion Leon Slater taking on the other holder of the Collier shot, who has his still, Nick Nemeth, and the man who has earned, through Feast or Fired, a world championship match, Eddie Edwards, which it was announced that if any of these 3 at any time during this match, Leon Slater decided to use option C, Nick Nemeth decided to cash in his shot, or Eddie Edwards did, the tag team match would instantly get scrapped and would become a one-on-one match for the world championship. Now, as soon as that's explained, I'm like, all right, am I about to see a train wreckage of multiple shots called in before the third one actually gets the goal done?
It's a great setup.
Yeah. Santana in a match against 3 guys who could cash in against him potentially anytime. Sure.
Yeah. And one of them being his partner.
One is his teammate. Yeah.
And it doesn't happen.
Nope. Got a straight tag team match.
No one wants to give up their shot with so many other people so close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know? With those variables in play.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Completely agree with that. Unless you were to do it right after the match. And the way this match played out, there could have been an opportunity for it. But unfortunately, Steve Macklin, who was fired, somehow gets in the building and attacks Mike Santana, which doesn't lead to a disqualification or anything like that. And him and Macklin are just brawling their way through the crowd and out the building.
Yeah, leaving Leon Slater to face Nick Nemeth and Eddie Edwards on his own.
Which he held his own.
He sure did. Yeah, definitely a worthy X Division champ.
And he's not, I think they say he's like 2 months away or something like that from being the longest reigning X Division champion.
Okay.
No way. Wow. Oh yeah, the X Division Championship historically, like, they weren't really long reigns.
I want to say the last longest reign was Mustafa Ali or Chris Sabin. Because they both had good reigns with that shit. I think Mustafa Ali held it for like a year before dropping it. Same thing, I think, with Sabin.
When was Saban? Like 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Mustafa Ali,
You
I
guys
think,
are not
beat
going to
him.
guess. You have not guessed who the longest X Division champ is yet.
The Mojo.
Nope.
The longest
AJ
reigning
Styles.
ever?
Still the longest.
Austin Aries.
Yep.
Yeah.
298 days.
In my brain, I was going between him and then Moose.
I was watching back then.
That was how Option C came about, was during that title reign. Because Austin Aries is the one who gets the credit for Option C.
Yeah, but I guess that's how that title reign ended.
Yeah, because he relinquished the title to get his title shot, and it wasn't long after that he was on his way out the door.
Yep.
Yeah. And now he's
Yeah,
still-
now we don't really talk about him that much.
No, he's still out there. He's still
But we don't really talk about him that much.
So
I mean, I have nothing against him.
back to the topic at hand.
I think he's
though.
a phenomenal wrestler.
So this match continues. Eventually, the ref gets knocked out, and we get Moose coming out, helping out Leon Slater,
Yep.
and Leon Slater in the end picks up the victory.
Yeah. Yeah, for his team of him and the ghost of Mike Santana.
I honestly noticed out of everything I watched this week, even though I might have been watching it late, No Surrender held my attention best.
Yes. Yes, it did. Outside of that AEW women's title strap match, yeah, that was the thing that held my attention the most.
The ladder match held my attention decently. The Brody King MJF match kind of did, but I knew that Brody King wasn't going to win it.
Right.
Not with Adam. If Andrade became number one contender, maybe.
Right.
But yeah, that was just one of those things where it was like I didn't feel like I had to pay attention to it. Some other interesting things this week. How about that main event on NXT?
Trying to remember what the main event is.
So, we talked about this on Wednesdays. I didn't get to see the end of NXT that night. I stopped watching it, and we were talking about it. I'm like, so let me guess. Sol Ruca somehow gets tagged into the match while Zarya is setting up to have the win. Sol Ruca will somehow pick up the pinfall. Somehow picks up the pinfall and becomes because the winner who picked up the pinfall for either team in this match
got the title match.
Yeah, became number one contender to JC Jane, and so they both had the match set up and won. Zarya bumps into the corner, and for whatever reason, the ref counted it as a tag. I don't understand how that was a legal tag, but regardless, that's why
Saul's hand made contact with Zarya. That's how it's legal.
But it wasn't like purposely like she was backing up for the tag, because you see it where they call for it, and you'll see the tag to the shoulder. They just happened to make contact. But either way, Sol Ruca became the legal person in the match. She hits a soul snatcher. Zarya, I think F5 also got hit in the process. And you see them both going for the fall. Sol Ruca gets there just before. Zarya just stops. And you just see the look on her face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, the referee said I was the legal person. What was I supposed to do?
Right.
You weren't.
And Zarya wasn't in a position to be tagged in at that moment. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is I like the way the breakup of this team is being done in the storyline. Just the slow burn. It's not just oh my god, I woke up and hated you today. All of a sudden thing. It's definitely you see what's been building between Zarya and Saul and how it's the wedge is being driven in there.
Yeah.
So this is compelling the way they've built this.
I am starting to get burnt out on how slow they're burning it, because I'm like, I already feel like they could have already done the turn, but they're just adding to it. They're waiting for whatever reason. I don't know the backstage goings of other things going on within the WWE,
Mm-hmm.
but just the general idea of the amount of time it's taking to get there, especially with the idea that we're seeing a similar storyline unfold with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, but this is
They're not.
I like the Sol Ruka and Zarya version better.
No. Don't get it wrong. So do I. But to the point where we're seeing two similar storylines happening on both shows, and they're just at different points of the storyline, but it's the same bullet points. Either you're getting a title shot or you weren't there when I needed you.
Right.
Like we're going to see it probably play out a little bit differently on the main roster for the end game of it. Could it be that they could be slow burning it to get to Stand and Deliver? You know,
yeah, that would make sense.
You still have a big show to build to.
Yeah, because the Sol and Zarya storyline has been a fairly big one over the entire course of the year. Sol Ruka is obviously very close to being called up to main roster. So, yeah, if you can get that stretched out to Stand and Deliver, do it.
Yeah, no. And I agree with that. It makes sense. But then, unfortunately, we could say the same thing about Charlotte and Alexa if they were to choose to go that route. And in all honesty, and I say this, all the goodwill Charlotte's built, they shouldn't just burn it down to the ground. They should have Alexa be the one to turn heel.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Like our opinion, I'm not saying necessarily our full opinions of Charlotte have changed over a year ago, but our talks about her aren't about her being
it's not
given
like
the
when
Cena treatment. You
right.
know, constantly
it's not like
she's not over enough.
Yeah, it's not the same conversation we had when she came back at the Rumble and we're like, oh, great, she won the Rumble. Blah. So, yeah, it's now a different conversation around Charlotte.
She's not over enough to make Alexa the heel in this situation.
I disagree.
Right. See, yeah, I think she could. I think Alexa could definitely become the heel here.
Because it becomes the idea of all Charlotte has to do is get one type of title match, one little thing, one opportunity that she's not getting. And the idea that Charlotte, how many people has Charlotte walked over to stay on top of the card? Alexa being one of them in the process of all that. When she was with Bray Wyatt, her and Charlotte had a feud. Like there just comes a point where, when was it going to be somebody else's time? Oh yeah, and you know what? You still don't acknowledge me as an equal to you. Because that's been a common thread in that story.
Yeah.
Charlotte does not acknowledge Alexa as an equal. She acts like she does, but it doesn't seem genuine.
No.
And all the goodwill just built with the fans of changing that image of her. You know, now that becomes a major storyline with no championships involved in it. Maybe it leads to somehow a championship match, but it's not the thriving story there. And hey, you know, you kind of save face with Charlotte a bit longer and see if she can sustain being a babyface without Alexa at her side. And now she's going up against Alexa, who fans generally still want to cheer for. And it's almost like you kind of got to take reactions out of it sometimes with cases like that. Because you're like, all right, it's somebody who's been around long enough. There's still a percentage of the crowd who's going to cheer for him. You know, it's not somebody like Rey Mysterio. We turn Rey Mysterio heel and the fans are still going to cheer for him because it's Rey Mysterio. If you turned The Undertaker heel, fans still cheered for him because it was The Undertaker. We didn't care whether he was heel or face. Hell, even heel Brock Lesnar started getting cheers. Just the landscape of wrestling and how fans acknowledge certain things at certain ages has changed. Somebody like MJF, who should get booed out of a building every week.
Oh, he's the perfect anti-hero.
Which he shouldn't even be that. He should just be a full-fledged heel, because that's what he portrays. He doesn't portray the
Yeah, but what you
anti-hero.
portray, you can't, you know, you can try to portray what you want, but the crowd reaction is what matters.
I'm just
Like, for
I'm
example, when Becky came out and tried to cut a heel promo and the crowd just wasn't having it, and she's all "you people," and they're just like, "Yeah, us, we love you, Becky." You remember what I'm talking about?
that's just the fans not wanting to acknowledge what was happening and fighting against the current.
Well, isn't that what we're talking about here? I mean, you can do whatever you want to make yourself seem heelish, but it's all about
No.
the
But
fans'
I'm saying to
reaction and
compare.
what it-
But I'm just saying the MJF character is not an anti-hero character. It is a heel character. Stone Cold would be the anti-hero. Somebody who that's the better comparison of the anti-hero.
The only difference between MJF and Stone Cold is in that respect is that MJF talks a meaner game. Otherwise, he doesn't like really do anything that heelish.
MJF. It is just he doesn't come across as anti-hero. I'm trying to think of somebody who like maybe at some point like a Randy Orton was an anti-hero. You know, like there's certain guys that can portray that and stay in that gray area, which is why part of the thing I said is Stone Cold, because he was always in that gray area. The Stone Cold character on paper, if you never saw anything about him and you just went by his actions, you'd be like, oh, that's a bad guy. He shows up, he drinks at work, cusses, gives everybody the middle finger, and kicks his boss's ass every week.
Same with MJF, but he's over like that. You know, like MJF.
Because there's a lot of people in America that have fantasies about doing just that.
No, it's just the comparison of anti-hero to just being the heel. You know, MJF is just a heel who says things to pop the crowd. And has solid matches while doing it.
Yep.
You know, and that's what gets him, is the character that does get cheered, but the actions are heel.
I don't know. I don't really see him
What
as
he
both.
says is heel. Whether there's truth to it or not, what he says is heel.
Yeah, but it's actions, not what he says.
But what he says also he backs up with his actions. So they do come together. It's not like one thing to another. He's a new age heel. To where the older heels literally, oh, the fans like that? You don't get that no more. Because that's part of being a heel. You never give the fans what they want. He does give the fans what they want in a babyface, but still heel way, by just having these hot takes and controversial things to say on TV. I absolutely love MJF. Nothing against it, but that's what he does. He says things you shouldn't say on TV. He gets the pop for it. And the fans today, that's what they like. It's kind of like one of the things with the Attitude Era. That it felt like NWO type thing, right? It felt more real. It felt more genuine for the 90s. Same thing with like the DX type thing and the full-blown Attitude Era in the WWF. It was just things that connected with the public at the time. And MJF, babyface or heel, connects with the public. Same thing with Seth Rollins.
Anti-hero.
Seth Rollins, there we go. That's the anti-hero. He's heel.
All of these guys we've named are anti-heroes.
I disagree on MJF being the anti-hero. He's just the villain everybody cheers for.
Like Deadpool, you know, anti-hero.
Deadpool's
Venom.
a comedian with a superpower.
Venom.
Anti-hero.
Yeah, Venom's an anti-hero. But Venom's would also in pro wrestling be the tweener. He'd be the guy
You
who's not...
contradicted yourself. MJF gives the people what they want. Right?
But he still acts like a heel.
Right. Anti-hero.
I can't help that the people are sick, twisted fucks.
No, you can. This is wrestling. You should expect that. Sorry, everybody. We'll change the rating when we get a chance.
Yeah,
No Hulkamaniacs here.
That was the second one of the
you
show.
are correct.
But no,
No,
it's just that general idea of where does the scale tip for it no longer to be 50-50. You know, you would look at somebody like Punisher. The only difference between him and Batman is Punisher kills the villains.
Yeah,
heel all day.
anti-hero.
Yeah.
I was going heel.
No, Punisher
No,
anti-hero because he's killing bad guys.
But
We can't hear the crowd reaction.
I'd be cheering if I was right there.
Again, I can't help that the people are fickle and want what they want. All right. These are also the same fans that probably would go to a WWE show and be chanting yeet. Let's just make this clear. All right.
No, these are probably people who would. Well, it depends. If they're above 12, then no.
Chanting
I don't know,
along
I see
with
plenty
the
of
man
adults-
named Most Overrated.
I'm about to say, I see plenty of adults in those WWE crowds doing it too. It's not
Do they
the
have
kids
children
just
around
get
them?
No.
Yeah, well, wrestling fans are all types, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely are all types.
It's a polyglot.
You know, and speaking of that award things or whatever, I saw people arguing about because Booker T got worst commentator, and people are arguing like, "No way, he's not." I'm like,
Yeah, McAfee's worse.
No, McAfee's great.
No,
McAfee got beat out by like 350 votes.
I saw the tally.
Like that,
I would have been voting for McAfee as worst.
I love McAfee's enthusiasm. Booker T gets a lot of stuff wrong when he's calling
there
him
is
it.
that.
Like the only thing he's good for is enhancing people during their entrances, and even then, it gets old.
Yeah, especially with the women. Yeah, Booker T, you gotta stop, man. You ain't the king, and this ain't the '90s anymore.
Yeah. He's
really... his weird exclamations just really take me out of it.
Like,
I never want to hear Shucky Ducky Quack Quack again in the middle of a match.
Like what Booker T, it just doesn't connect to me watching. It comes to a point where if it wasn't for the fact I have to hear stuff watching wrestling for certain things that they're putting over, I would do it like I mute a Chris Collinsworth called football game and just watch it with no sound.
No, that's not what you do.
Oh, that is absolutely what I do. Then I watch Tom Grassi for my commentary.
That's what you do.
But for some reason, Tom Grassi's not doing commentary for that game because there's like a Packers game on or something. I will sit here and watch the game muted the entire time and just have something else on.
I'm a big fan of Merle Reese and Mike Quick. If I can sync it up.
Oh man,
I
love listening to Merrill Reese just slide into drunkenness over the course of the game.
That's an awesome spectacle.
I drank a beer.
The kick is high and end over end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it
For
depends
those
on
not
when it's
familiar
in
with
football.
Philly sports.
Oh man, Merle Reese is a god, but yeah,
He's a drunk god.
by the end of the show, by the end of the game, you know, you can. Especially when they lose, he's like,
Yeah.
Mike, I gotta tell you, this was just an absolutely ridiculous finish to this game.
So, just
Also,
real
for those
quick-
not in the area, that's a really good Merrill Reese
Yeah.
impression right there.
just other things to happen this week. AJ Lee returns.
Yep.
They're
Yeah,
set up
that
for
was a great segment between her.
Wait,
and
I thought AJ Styles retired. How did AJ Lee return?
I don't know, but we're here. The
Thank you,
Usos
BJ.
retained the tag team titles against Alpha Academy this week. I thought that was a fairly good match.
Yeah, nice to see the respect afterwards.
I forgot to mention earlier, Rhea Ripley also qualified for Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I almost said Money in the Chamber.
Elimination
in
Bank.
the bank.
Oh. You could open the center of the chamber and hang the briefcase right at the top of it and have ladders attached to the inside of the chamber and turn the chamber into a ladder match where people still have to come out the pods every 2 minutes.
Who are you, Vince Russo?
No, I'm
Bro.
Eric Bischoff.
Hey, bro. Come on, bro.
No, if I was Vince Russo, I'd be working for Juggalo Championship Wrestling right now. And Ken Anderson would be my world champion.
Nice. Gotta love
Because that's who's currently the JCW world champion, is Ken Anderson.
And we saw his JCW debut in person.
Yeah. We saw Natty or Natalia Neihart as Natty finally fully coming out and for a match that was her and Maxine double count out. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
I see
that
they're
was a weird finish.
They're obviously not trying to bury Maxine, but it's going to happen.
Yes.
She has to start from the bottom and work her way up.
Again.
We have the original Grande and Javon Evans defeat the other Grandes.
Ryo and
Pete
Bravo.
Dunne and yeah.
Yeah. And Javon Evans, oh my God.
That guy. He's got a future as long as he can stay healthy.
Yeah, he was insane in that match.
It really makes you think with some of these smaller guys, at least me personally, it makes me wish they would bring back a light heavyweight title, a cruiserweight division. Like, why is the Speed Championship not across all the shows like the Women's Tag Team Championship? Like, it would be the perfect title to feature some of these guys you have nothing for at the moment, who you're going to give big spots to every week so they're just not getting hurt for no reason.
Like, in theory, I get you, but you saw what happened with, like, the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah, like I said, it makes me wish, And
Well,
I
they're
wish
going to do it right, and they never did.
And part of me is like, with the ability of having access to AAA talent as well, you can kind of legitify that division now, and you're not just using your smaller guys to do it.
I mean,
One
WCW
other
did
reason
it
that
right.
another reason the cruiserweight belt may have failed is because it was a WCW product that got brought to WWE, and we know how Vince felt about WCW products.
Well, he had the light
Oh, no,
heavyweight
I'm talking
championship
about-
before that.
I'm talking about
Gilbert
24/7 days, or not 24/7. 7-Eleven. What was that show called? 205 Live.
Okay.
I'm talking about more of those days, and not the initial.
I thought
Oh.
I thought 205 Live was really good, and then Enzo won the title. He had that good reign, and that was and let's be honest here, how much people might crap on him. That's when that title meant the most. That's when that title got off of that show and got to be featured in other places.
And you
He should have
can't
never beat
teach
Pac.
that.
He should have never beat Pac.
Nah, Neville should have never lost the NXT championship the way he did.
Fair enough.
That's the one.
Bastards.
But if he wouldn't have beat Pac, Pac would still be in WWE, maybe.
No.
That was the
No.
final straw. That was like why he left.
No, yeah, but so if that was just the tip of what cracked the iceberg there, that moment still eventually happens.
The tip of what cracked the iceberg.
The tip of what
The
cracked
Titanic.
iceberg.
In the multiverse, the iceberg didn't sink the Titanic. The Titanic sank the iceberg. But it
Oh,
sank
those
the
poor
exact
penguins.
same way.
In communist Russia. Sorry.
Yes, Yakov.
That doesn't work for me, brother.
Iceberg sinks. Titanic sinks.
So yeah, just real quick. CM Punk, Finn Balor, Elimination Chamber. I really like how they did that whole entire segment.
Mm-hmm.
Pierce coming out like, I'm not booking it. I'm not booking it. I'm not booking it.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm booking
CM
it.
Punk, you're booking it.
I gotta book it. I
really wish they would do more with Finn. Like, I would
Yeah.
love to see, like, Finn, another person who, okay, realistically, you understand why he would never be WWE champion. That's always usually the title for the bigger guys.
He has been.
He's been Universal champion.
Oh, sorry, Universal.
For a day.
They're all
Yeah.
the same.
At that point, yeah, the belts were kind of the same, just a different
Yeah.
color.
Back then, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was red and blue.
Well, no, it was the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship.
Oh, it was black and blue, right?
No, so when the title was on Raw, it was red, and then when it moved to SmackDown, it became they changed the strap to blue.
That's
Yeah,
where I'm
they
getting
changed
the red
the
and the blue.
Universal to blue.
Right.
Yes.
And that's the one that Roman ended up with before it got merged.
Right.
Yeah, and
the
then
black.
the blue one was the one he beat Bray Wyatt for.
Yeah.
And he ended up giving that belt to Bray Wyatt's wife after he passed.
Oh no way.
I do remember hearing that. Yep.
But yeah, I'm happy with what they're doing with Finn right now. I just hope it leads to something at WrestleMania of substance. Him and Dom maybe for the Intercontinental Championship. If we don't get Dom versus Ray for the Intercontinental Championship,
Just for Christ's sakes, can we please break up the Judgment Day already?
in some way, shape, or form, right? Like split at least some type of split. Have Raquel turn babyface.
Yeah. Yeah, Liv gets custody of Roxanne.
And Dom.
Well, Liv already has custody of Dom.
I don't know. If you ask the fans in AAA, they might argue that.
Yeah.
Because he is well over in AAA.
Big old baby face. Yeah, it was weird seeing Vikingo get booed so heavily while Dom's in the ring.
Yeah.
Well, Vikingo is super not over, from what I hear. And
Apparently
actually,
not.
last AAA show I watched, he was super not over. People were
Yeah.
not happy
Yeah.
with him.
So I guess I'm the only one left for
Yep.
match of the week.
Yeah. Oh,
If
hey, let me tell you my match of the week.
If you guys would like to remind everybody of what your match of the week was, real quick, feel free.
It would be really funny if he was just like, strap match.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really big on the strap match.
Yeah, Statlander lost her belt, but oh my god, that match was amazing.
Yeah.
Tekla just...
Yeah.
I didn't know she could go like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
Well,
There
my
you go.
match of the week is also from AEW,
All right.
and it's the ladder match. How much I might talk about the way they got there.
Mm-hmm.
That match was absolutely amazing,
Yep.
and it's a close second with the main event of No Surrender.
I only got to see like the last 2 minutes of the ladder match, whatever AEW posted on their highlights on YouTube. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one. No Surrender, I didn't catch any.
Yeah, I thought wrestling was good across the board this week. I wasn't happy with everything. Like, if you're going to somehow get, like, I'm really hoping Jacob is in that WWE title match, or else they're going to miss the point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you put him in this major story for no reason, and you're going to hurt his momentum in the long run by not.
LA Knight?
Yeah.
The problem with LA Knight was the same thing with like Sami Zayn at the time and a couple other people where you could have seen him beat Roman. That's the problem. There was already a vision for Roman. They were able to stretch out the him and Cody thing for another year because their original plan was for the title to change hands in Philly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you know, for their first match. I'm sorry, the second match was in Philly. The Roman Cody won. That was the plan was for him to win it then, and they played it out for a whole nother year and did a good job with it. You know, or somebody like Jey Uso possibly at that time.
Yeah.
It's just LA Knight ran into a point where there was no chance of it changing hands, no matter how hot. Like, because if you're going to talk that, at one point Logan Paul was over enough to have a chance to beat Roman.
See, at that point, I don't think he was
But even
over
though-
enough. I think he had enough people on YouTube and followers on Instagram or whatever that WWE was like, all right, let's give you a match against Roman. Because nobody wanted that match. That was one of Roman's few face matches during his whole championship run. Like, everyone was rooting for Roman in that match because everyone hated Logan Paul and did not think he belonged there.
See, the one thing I'll always say is, no matter how much people will crap
Something.
on aspects of the Bloodline storyline and how far it ran, there's fans today still wishing that that was the case and that storyline was still going on because that's when they were most interested. You know, it's the same thing I'll say about the Death Riders. Whether or not I got the why but I never got the why they were doing what they were doing. In the end, when did people start watching AEW again? When Jon Moxley was world champion, and the Death Riders were running through everybody on that roster.
Yeah, we really got no payoff on like, oh, I have to do this. There was no payoff to that.
But yeah, this week coming up on Tuesday, we have a couple special guests lined up for Indie Spotlight.
Yes, you'll have to tune in to find out who they are.
This is the old graphic, but it's the one that's up there.
Yeah, this week coming, we got Mad Love.
Which
Yep.
And some of the stuff we will be previewing.
Mm.
There's the Lucky Scramble. There hasn't been anybody announced for the match yet, but
Except for Lucky, of course.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's his. Hey, man, it's his scramble. He could choose not to compete in it and just sit at ringside and watch. It's his scramble. He can do whatever he wants.
Sure. And then just come in after everyone's kicked the crap out of each other and win.
Lavari will be performing his new single,
I just got the
even though that's
video
not
for that.
even though that's not anything to do with predictions. Here's our question
Keep
for
it
that:
moving.
Will Lavari, after performing, keep it moving?
I hope
Of
so.
course.
But one of the matches we are looking forward to,
Yes.
Kid Legend
Yeah.
and the Feral Face in a casket match.
No longer a career casket match.
Nope.
Pat Dynamite versus Declan Grant in a ladder match.
The bald bastard.
Bald and grimy.
The bald, grimy bastard himself. And then for the
Oh my
PWU
God.
World Championship, Justified JP Grayson defending against Don Freeze.
Yeah.
We've been fortunate enough to see this guy twice in the last month, and oh my God, this guy's talented.
Yeah. Don Free should not be able to move like he does.
And then one of the matches we will be talking about on Tuesday from this past weekend, Mickey Knuckles and Angel Orsini, which was a fun match. Had some hard hitting moments in that match too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've still got to go back and watch this last Friday's show, but I will definitely do that before Tuesday.
And then let's not forget, if you're going to be in Vegas WrestleMania week, and you've never seen PWU live, now will be your opportunity.
Yeah, that Dark Night without a K on night, because it will be a dark midnight.
Like the song from Dusk Till Dawn. It's a dark night.
There you go.
And Johnny Cashmere was on this past Tuesday talking about that. If you'd like to go check that out, that is currently up on our channel.
Great show.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot of fun that week.
Other matches happening. And just something that I found out this week. This match, Gangrel versus Matt Tremont, first time ever.
Nice.
They have never had a match with each other before.
When you said first, I definitely thought you were going to say First Blood, and I was like, well, that's going to be a short match.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Marcus Mathers from the WWE ID program taking
Yeah.
on Kerry Morton from the NWA. Also a former JCW world champion.
Yeah.
Pat Dynamite versus the first ever Crazy 8 winner, Jack Evans. And Pat Dynamite, our current Silver Skywalker champion. And we just talked about there will be a Lucky Scramble in Vegas as well.
Because you got to bring luck to Vegas.
Yeah, hey, it could be the luckiest scramble of all.
Well, Lucky's been very lucky lately.
Yeah, that lucky bastard. Maris Ade from TNA taking on Mercedes Martinez. And this is actually another match I'm looking forward to. Fatal 4-way action. Ooh, phrasing. Ruthie J, Brittany Brooks, Mia Friday, and Jasmine Allure. Got them Ohio boys, Vandal 48, taking on Blackout.
That's going to be a great match.
Also, PWU Legacy Champion Joey Janela and Effie will be in tag team action. Opponents yet to be named. And just remember, all roads lead to Vegas.
Yup.
Yeah.
But yeah, at this point, I think it's time for us to get the hell out of here.
1, 2, 3. Ring that bell. Let's get it out.
Everybody be good to each other, and we'll see you Tuesday for Indie Spotlight.
Hey, wrestling fans, this is Rick Wade telling you to tune in. BJ, DG, best wrestling talk on YouTube.